Hi everybody, this is Peter Wilson from Grace Waves Devotional, coming to you once again from Manchester in the UK. And we're looking at this series, The Ninefold Fruit of the Spirit. Today it's part 10, and we are looking at the fruit of gentleness. Galatians 5:22 says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness. Therefore, gentleness is the 8th fruit of the ninefold fruit of the Spirit. And gentleness in the Greek is more akin to meekness and humility. Galatians 6:1 says, if a person is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of gentleness or meekness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted. This verse means two things. Firstly, we are to confront a person's wrongdoing, not with anger and attacking their character, but with a spirit of meekness and gentleness. For it is gentleness and meekness enveloped by love. You see, we cannot look to the world to model gentleness and meekness for us, for so much of the world's ways today are the opposite of kingdom living. With the advent of social media platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Parler, it means everybody can have their say. And many people on these platforms use what's called Ad Hominem debate. The words ad hominem are Latin, and they mean to the man or to the woman. It means that instead of debating the issue at hand, ad hominem debate attacks the other person's character in order to win the debate. So instead of debating the issue at hand, they attack the other person's character. And this kind of debate is rampant in America, in politics and social media, and it has crept into the church. For example, you only have to mention the names Joel Osteen, Bill Johnson, Joseph Prince, or Kenneth Copeland on Facebook, and everybody piles in to post their negative views. Joel Osteen is the most criticized Christian person on social media on the planet. Much of it by Christians calling him a charlatan, a money grabber, a manipulator, and a heretic. Or that Bill Johnson from Bethel Church, that's a false church. They allow anything to go on at that church. And don't get me started on Kenneth Copeland spending millions of dollars on airplanes. Who do they think they are? That's ad hominem debate, attacking people's character. You know, all that money could have been spent on foreign missions and feeding the poor. But do you realize those are exactly the same words that people used to criticize Jesus and the woman who broke the alabaster box of oil over his body? Let me read you the story. Mark chapter 14, verses 3-9. Jesus was in Bethany at the house of Simon the leper. As he sat at the table, a woman having an alabaster flask of very costly oil of spikenard came forward. Then she broke the flask and poured it on his head. But there were some who were indignant among themselves and said, why was this fragrant oil wasted? For it might have been sold for more than 300 denarii, which to you is about £20,000, and given to the poor. And they criticized her sharply. But Jesus said, let her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a good work for me. For you have the poor with you always, and whenever you wish, you may do them good. But me you do not have always. She has done what she could. She has come beforehand to anoint my body for burial. Assuredly, I say to you, wherever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be told as a memorial to her. Think about that. She broke a box of perfume worth about a year's wages, 20, shall we say £20,000, a lot of money. Yet Jesus said, she has done a good work for me. So to you indignant ones out there, the next time you are ripping into Joel Osteen or Bill Johnson, remember what Jesus said to Saul, who later became Paul the Apostle on the Damascus Road. Acts chapter 9 verse 4. Saul heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? In other words, what Saul did to those people by torturing, putting them in prison and killing them was actually killing Jesus, persecuting Jesus. So when we speak out against God's servants using ad hominem debate, we are persecuting Jesus himself. Now, there is a right and wrong way to judge people. So, for example, I can say, Joel Osteen, yes, is a great man of God. He oversees a massive ministry that brings many people to Christ, and it does. However, I disagree with some parts of his faith message that, in my view, theologically border on the self-help movement. Now, that is what I actually believe. So I am righteously and critically appraising his ministry without attacking his character or tainting his reputation. But if I say this, that Joel Osteen, what a money-grabbing charlatan he is, a snake oil salesman of the highest order. He is a heretic and will find his place in hell on Judgment Day. People actually say these kind of things on social media. And that is ad hominem, and is wrong, and certainly doesn't flow out of a meek and gentle spirit, but is totally destructive, evil, and besmirches Joel's reputation and is attacking and persecuting Jesus himself. Let me read Galatians 6:1 again. If a person is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such an one in a spirit of anger and an attacking voice. No, restore such an one in a spirit of gentleness and meekness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted. So we've looked at the right and wrong way to judge a person. Let's look again at the last part of Galatians 6 verse 1. Considering yourself, lest you also be tempted. Those few words ought to shut all our mouths. These words mean that if you fall into sin or your dysfunctional public behavior is exposed, how would you like to be dealt with by other Christians? Would you like them to come at you full frontal with, you money-grabbing charlatan, you snake oil salesman, how dare you defraud God's people this way? You should burn in hell for your ungodly behavior. Or after being caught out and publicly exposed, would you like to be confronted with, Billy, you've been caught in wrong behavior. It's caused tremendous damage to the lives of many people, and it's profoundly tainted the reputation of the global church. You will now have to publicly take steps to own your behavior and apologize to those you have hurt. You may even have to take some time out from ministry to receive counseling and advice and spend quality time repairing your family relationships. But on top of all this, I want you to know that Jesus has forgiven you and still passionately loves and accepts you. He does not judge you or condemn you. For this he did 2,000 years ago on the cross, on that hill called Calvary. Wow, that's touching my emotions. Where he personally took the punishment for all your sin. I know which approach I would like if I was caught out in sin. It would be the second one, delivered out of a meek, uncritical, gentle spirit. So remember, friends, the next time you open your north and south to make comments about another person, remember, are you going to speak ad hominem or speak with a gentle and a meek spirit? Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.